Here we are in the Touraine vineyards in the heart of France at the height of the grape harvest. It's a tradition which also has a taste of Europe.
Mladen has been coming here from Bulgaria with his wife and one of his daughters for several years now. After 3 weeks of grape harvesting, they'll stay on to do other winemaking work on the property. This is a bonus, he says.
There's very little money in Bulgaria. In France, it's good.
It's good?
Well, yes. We have 2 daughters. Afterwards, they can go to the institute in Bulgaria.
To study?
Yes, we work here, earn money, and afterwards she'll go back to Bulgaria to study.
The family is among the 12 so-called posted workers recruited by Jackie Blow through a Bulgarian temp agency to make up the numbers on his grape picking teams, about 100 in all. It's the only way, the winemaker tells us, to keep up the tradition of manual harvesting and guarantee the quality of the wine.
There are 1,000 barrels on the property. That's the equivalent of 300,000 bottles lying outside. We can't miss the harvest. 2 days earlier is too early, and 2 days later is too late. It is vital to pick the grapes at the right time. The difficulty lies in managing to get together enough grape pickers to harvest each plot at precisely the right moment. Our profession is difficult. We are seeing each year it is getting harder to make up the teams using just local workers.
Employing posted workers is limited, however, by cost, which is greater than employing a French worker.
I pay the temp agency €18 an hour, whereas the salary of a French grape picker, including social security costs, is just less than €13. That's an extra €14 per grape picker per day. I have 12, so that makes €500 a day, more for each the Bulgarians work. What motivates me is the fact that I am sure of having a reliable workforce.
This other wine grower has also had to use the services of a Bulgarian interim agency in the past. Not anymore, though. In addition to a team of travellers he has been employing for several seasons, he has taken on 2 Bulgarian workers on a permanent basis. Anatoly, who first came to the property as a posted worker, has been working there as a full-time employee for 7 years.
I earn €1,200 a month here. That's 6 times more than in Bulgaria. It makes a difference.
Hiring Anatoly directly also makes a big difference for his employer. Above all, he wants to be able to count on loyal staff, which is difficult to find locally in order to secure the future of the small family business. And he's firmly against the practices of certain intermediaries.
According to the system of posted workers, the person drawing up the contracts takes a cut, the person organising meals takes a cut, and the person arranging accommodation takes a cut. After that, there are deductions from their pay slips for social security and unemployment contributions in Bulgaria or Romania, which rarely get paid. It is a form of modern slavery which shocks me. I don't want to be part of it, and that is why I want my workers to be under French legislation.
A few kilometres away, we have an appointment with the mayor of Saint-Martin-le-Beau. She's an MP and also runs a large market gardening business. She often has to turn to using posted workers, as she just can't find the required workforce locally.
I must say that since the enlargement of the EU, the posted workers, who mostly come from Eastern Europe, are usually from a rural background and are therefore more inclined to accept this type of work. I believe the real issue is the lack of controls within the member states. And unfortunately, it's not within the prerogatives of either the Commission or the Parliament, since it's up to each member state to organise the controls of the directives, which it integrates into its own legislation. So if there are people who commit fraudulent acts in France, controls should be established and they should be punished. It's as simple as that.
We join one of the teams of seasonal workers who regularly work for Angélique Delahaye's company, some of which are hired directly. One of them calls over to us. He doesn't want to be seen on camera. He has had dealings in the past with a very dubious Bulgarian interim agency.
There were problems with salary, hours, contracts, social security. I informed the French Labour Inspectorate about it. For 8 months of work, they paid only 3 months of social security. 5 months were undeclared.
We meet up with Anatoly again at home with his family at the farm he is renting from his employer. He's had his share of fraud linked to posted work. That's why many like him have preferred direct contracts, he says. His aim now is to find permanent employment for his wife Petya, who is currently unemployed after many temporary contracts. Their dream is to buy their own house in the area and settle down with their son, who arrived from Bulgaria a year ago.
My son was 2.5 years old when I went to work in France for the first time. When I went back to Bulgaria, he said to me, "I want another daddy," because I was a stranger to him. He grew up without me for 8 years. I was in France and he was in Bulgaria. The most important thing for me now is to build my own house with my family. If I do so, it would be great, as it would be my own house. And then maybe one day I can have a bigger family. Who knows?